What would happen if your leadership doubled at work? Hi, I'm Dr. Philip Shiro with Think Like a Leader, and we are in a mini-series on increasing your leadership value, or ROI. If your influence increased at work, would that create greater alignment or cooperation with your team? Would there be fewer conflicts? Would people be more energized about what they're doing? Would productivity or impact go up? Yes to all these things and more. In today's episode, I'm going to reveal to you the inner shift that you need to make in your leadership to dramatically increase your influence. If you remember from the ROI video, influence is the capacity to affect the beliefs, values, and actions of other people. And influence is like a ripple from a drop of water that spreads out across the surface of the water. And the key shift that you need to make to increase your influence is to move from directing to inspiring. Now, if you're a leader already, you've probably learned how to tell people what to do in such a way that they're going to do it. They may even like you or say, "He's a great boss." But directing has a limitation on your influence because you can only influence those people that you have direct communication with to tell them what to do or how to do it. But if you can make the shift from directing to inspiring, your influence can ripple out even when you're not in the room. It's what I call moving from being the voice in their ear to being the voice in their head. Just think about it. When you're directing someone, your voice is in their ear telling them what to do or how to do it or how to think. But if you're the voice in their head, then long after you're gone, your influence continues on as a voice in their head. And I want you to think about leadership influence as not tied to a position, because really it doesn't matter if you're the CEO or a vice president or a team leader. Influence doesn't come from positional power. It comes from the impact of your life and your thinking on others. So let me give an example of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He wasn't elected. He didn't have a position of power or authority in the country. And yet his influence had a tremendous impact because he affected people's values, beliefs, and ultimately their choices and actions. That was not him telling them exactly what to do, but shaping the way that they think. And the best way for you to begin practicing the shift from directing to inspiring is by asking good questions. When you ask people a good question, you begin to shape their thinking even after you leave the room. And that influence goes on. Now, what's a good question? Well, a good question has three characteristics. It's open-ended. It's not a yes or no, black and white kind of question. It's an open-ended question that invites them to think. And by asking that question, you're directing their thoughts in a productive direction. Secondly, a good question is curious. That means you don't already know the answer. If you ask someone a question that you already know the answer to, they're going to sense that and try to come up with, what does my boss want to hear? Or like, what's the right answer? And they're going to try to just please you or appease you or get you to go away. But if you ask a truly curious question, that curiosity opens up their horizons and helps them think about their work in new ways. And finally, a good question is honest. You're not trying to manipulate them. You're honestly asking them a question that they might know the answer better than you. You're honestly inquiring, and that gives value to other people. And as you give value to them, that value influences them and creates a ripple effect. So move from directing to inspiring to grow your influence. Stick with us for the next 2 episodes on ownership and replication. And hey, if you liked this video today, would you click the share button down below? Send it by email to a friend or just send a LinkedIn message to someone else who could benefit from growing their influence at work.